What is going on, YouTube? It is Sharks here from Sharks Auto. Hope you're having a great day. My day is going good. And today we're going to talk about the Aventador SVJ because it really is that car. But before we get into the Aventador SVJ, I'll first explain what the Aventador is. Now, throughout the years, Lamborghini has always had a flagship V12 coupe. From 2011 to 2022, the Aventador was that coupe. For most of the younger generation, the Aventador has become the face of Lamborghini. And personally, out of all the Lamborghini's V12 coupes, I like the Aventador and the Murcielago the best. The Murcielago I think looks quite elegant, almost like a work of art, while the Aventador on the other hand looks beastly. As was customary with the other V12 coupes, the Aventador came in a few different versions, which are more or less akin to trim levels, and the Aventador SVJ is the most performance-oriented and expensive version of the Aventador. Now, the Aventador was already a fearsome car, and the Aventador SVJ took things even further. In my personal opinion, the Aventador SVJ is also one of the best looking cars I have ever seen. Now, onto performance. The Aventador SVJ has more power, less weight, better handling than the standard Aventador. It's powered by a massive 6.5-liter V12 producing 770 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. This motor is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission that shifts fairly quickly, as you'd expect for a car of this caliber, but can feel quite clunky when you're just driving around town. And this motor and transmission are coupled with an amazing all-wheel drive system, which allows the SVJ to move from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 60 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds. Now, this straight line acceleration can match purpose-built drag cars, which is very impressive when you realize that the SVJ was never built for drag racing or straight line speed for that matter. And in fact, the SVJ has a Nürburgring lap time of 6 minutes 44 seconds. And in 2018, this set a new record for all production cars. The Aventador SVJ is available in both a coupe and roadster, and it typically goes for about 660,000 USD, which is about 950,000 Canadian dollars. So for my Canadians, this is essentially $1 million car, and some may ask, is it worth it? And that's really for you to decide. In the section, and I guess in the next section of the video, I'll explain what makes this car special, and whether it makes it worth $1 million is up to you. And there are quite a few things that make the SVJ special, and I'm going to do my best to summarize some of them very quickly here. The first is that the engine is unique to Lamborghini, meaning it isn't shared with any other company. Many of Lamborghini's engines are shared with other manufacturers in the VW group, but not this one. Now, for example, I believe the Huracan and the R8 have the same engine, the Urus and the Q8 have the same engine. Now, but I think this car having a unique engine helps make it special. Over the Aventador Coupe S, it has titanium intake valves, a new intake system, a new exhaust, and 29 more horsepower. It's also the last Lamborghini V12 produced without electric assistance. It ends a long line of great purely V12 coupes, namely the Miura, Countach, Diablo, and Murcielago. It is a great final hurrah of the pure V12s, and I think it's a fitting send-off as well. This car is also extremely limited, or was extremely limited. There were only 900 coupes and 800 roadsters produced, I believe, which of course is going to cause their value, sorry, to skyrocket if it hasn't already. I assume it kind of did. And another item that makes this car special is the heritage of its name. So now, SVJ stands for Super Veloce Jota, which translates to super fast Yoda in English. Now, super fast obviously means that the car is actually super fast, and Yoda is a nod to the Lamborghini Miura Yoda. Now, the Miura Yoda was a Miura that Bob Wallace, a test driver and tinkerer at Lamborghini, custom built himself. It was lighter, stiffer, and faster than a Miura S, and it really showed the world what Lamborghini was capable of. It could move from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or 60 miles per hour, in just 3.5 seconds in the 1970s. If that doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. The Miura Yoda inspired the creation of the SVJ line and limited production Lamborghinis, giving the SVJ a truly special heritage. The final two things that make this car special have already been stated in this article. The first is the performance. I feel that I need to say this again for its significance to set in. When this car came out, it set a new record at the Nürburgring for production car lap times. It beat everything. Almost no automotive reviewers were able to push this car to its true limits, and I'm willing to bet that it's not because they didn't have the skill. I think they didn't have the balls. At its limits, this car would be moving at terrifying speeds. Only a select few people would even be able to have the courage to drive any car that fast. let alone a $1 million limited production Lamborghini. And this car looks menacing. I put it right up there with Pagani and Koenigsegg when it comes to looks. The exhaust is higher up than usual on Lamborghinis, just so that the driver can hear it more. The entire design of this car was focused on showing that it is an animal just waiting to be released, and it doesn't even stop at the design. Multiple reviewers attest that the car wanted to be floored. They said that it feels like it even speeds up on off-throttle downshifts because of how eager it is to go fast. Now, if this hasn't convinced you that this is a special car, I really don't know what will. And again, I don't know about you, but the Aventador SVJ will always have a place in my dream garage. And as always, thank you for watching a TikTok video and my article, or and a article on my blog, www.sharksauto.com, are already posted and live. Please feel free to check them out. Of course, everything will be linked in the description. My email is also linked in the description. If you hated the video enough that you want to take time out of your day and send me an email, go ahead and do it. If you liked it, go ahead and do that too.